Today I fucked up by being that scary dude on a dark country lane you see in movies, brandishing a tire iron. This happened about 15 years ago, but I've been asked to share, so here we go. I was working late shift on an IT help desk at a UK hospital in January. Got off at 10 PM, had a smoke and left the hospital by about 20 past. Two choices for a route home: motorway that's about 2 miles longer, but takes roughly the same amount of time as the back roads. It's dry, so I decide to take the back roads. My little hatchback prefers them anyway, and it has decent full beams so can light up the lanes well enough. About 5 miles or so into the countryside, there's a sweeping right-hand bend. I'm doing a reasonable speed considering it's a wide open road, no other cars around etc. But not ridiculous. I see the eyes of some animal light up with my full beams ahead. Back off the throttle. As I get closer I can now see the animal is a lovely black and white striped badger. A badger who can't decide where on the road it wants to be. When I first saw it, it was in the opposite lane. Then it ran across to mine, then back again. Finally it ran into the bushes at the side of the road before deciding against that, and where it really wanted to be was directly in my path. If anyone's ever heard Jasper Carrot's insurance excuses sketch, it very much was. I had to swerve a number of times before I hit him. As I had been braking, the badger went under my car at a speed of only 20 miles per hour or so. It would have been so much easier had I been doing triple that. There's a bang as it goes under the car and, presumably, hits its head on the sump oil pan. I stop the car, put it into reverse to engage the reverse lights and see behind me. The badger is now blocking the road. I'll have to move it to the side so other cars don't hit it. Oh fuck, no. It's moving. Proper death spasms. I use my little keyring torch to go back and have a look. Yep, poor thing is making an horrific noise. Imagine a dog being eaten by a whale, and they're both vocalizing their displeasure about the situation. Also, badgers are much bigger than I imagined them to be. Like, not the size of a spaniel, more the size of a Labrador, but with a spaniel's legs. I run back to the car. What have I got in here that would do the job? Snow shovel might not be heavy enough. I briefly wonder if there's any painkillers in the first aid kit, but if there are, it'll be some paracetamol tablets, and I'm not sure I could convince a dying badger to swallow them without a glass of water. Then I see it, under the boot floor. The tire iron, or whatever the thing is you get the wheel nuts off, is called when change a tire, wheel brace. Anyway, it's got just enough heft to dispatch our friend, I hope. So far, there's not been another car in either direction on this road. Until now. I hear it before I see their lights. As they come round the bend I'm running back to the badger, and I flash my torch at them so they don't run me over as well. They slow down, I think thank fuck, someone's going to help, but as their headlights illuminate me standing over a convulsing badger, brandishing a tire iron, suddenly there's a squeak of their tires on tarmac, and they zoom away at breakneck speed. I couldn't see the driver very well, but I think it was a young woman. A young woman who has just encountered some madman who spends his weekend evenings murdering mustlids on country lanes. A madman who makes gestures that suggest he would like you to join in. By the time I'd processed all of this, the badger was pretty close to the end. I knew I didn't want to have to do it twice, so a decent whack to the temple and it instantly relaxed. I rolled it to the verge with great difficulty, and slowly walked back to my car to replace the tire iron into its slot under the boot floor. Too long didn't read. Suicidal badger went under my car. Female motorist arrives just as I'm about to put the poor thing out of its misery, assumes I'm a murderer. Should have raised the tire iron over your head and did the sand people bark as she drove past. I instinctively made that sound out loud when I read this, and my dog acted like I just kicked her. He did not like that shit. For a mistellied murdering madman, you sure have a way with words. A whale eating a dog, and both of them are vocalizing their displeasure at the situation. I died at this, couldn't see the screen due to crying with laughter. Have an award, my man. Poor badger. It's funny how this story ended up being more interesting than the original post about the mouse. I unfortunately hit a suicidal badger doing about 60 miles per hour. I didn't have to finish him off. He finished off my car's radiator though. Call it a draw. Wow, a badger going 60? Happy cat face. Today I fucked up by accidentally drawing a penis for my students during a Zoom class. This just happened in my pharmacology class. For my explanation, I decided to draw a blood vessel. Using the red brush, I drew two parallel and slightly curved descending lines from the edge of the screen. I tried to make it look more 3D with a circle in the end, representing a cross-section. As it was supposed to be a quick sketch, it turned out a little larger and more oval than intended. The result was an obvious drawing of a thick and flaccid penis sticking out from the edge of the whiteboard. I decided to pretend I didn't notice it and went on with my explanation. I thought it would be too obvious if I immediately erased it, acknowledging the accident. I attempted to make it look less like a penis by drawing some dark yellow arrows on the vessel, representing the blood flow. It really didn't help, as they started looking like veins, and when I made some of them going out of the vessel, they definitely started looking like hair. The hairy penis stayed on the screen until I finished the explanation, but I believe there might be some prints being shared among the students by now. Too long didn't read. My attempt of drawing a blood vessel resulted in a penis that stayed on the whiteboard for several minutes. The only thing to do is bring it up in the next class. That sounds like a solid plan, though probably pretty hard to do. Give it a fair whack though. Honestly, your students will love you for this forever. Most likely, you will be talked about for years. They will tell all of their friends about the penis a teacher drew during the COVID pandemic. Gonna need to see this. Pics or it didn't happen. Yeah, if pics don't surface soon, I think an email to the class asking does anyone have any screenshots of that penis I drew the other day is gonna be the only option. Yo teach. Now, make each and every one of them draw a replica of your diagram on the final. Don't worry, everybody loves a teacher who messes stuff up in class. Now they have a cool story to talk about when they're drunk. Next time you draw something, just write the following disclaimer on the board: except if you really want to draw a penis, then you're good to go. I'm bad at drawing. If it looks like a penis, it probably isn't. One time my AP Bio teacher wrote sex cells instead of sex cells. That was 4 years ago and I still laugh at that. I miss her. Today I fucked up by pulling up my jeans too fast. Warning, gross. What's the worst thing that's ever happened to you? Moments ago, I'm sitting on the toilet watching a YouTube video on my phone. It's a funny video. I'm laughing. I'm having so much fun watching this video that as I stand up, I pull up my jeans a little faster than I normally might. Now, I always keep my keys in my back pocket. I have a set of house keys, and a separate key for the lock of my bike that I keep separate from the keychain. As I pull my jeans up, I feel something fly up out of my back pocket, then I hear a little sort of squelch noise. I currently live in Amsterdam, and the majority of the toilets here aren't like the ones I'm used to back home in the UK. For some reason that eludes me, they have a sort of shelf that things collect on, and are then flushed into the water instead of dropping right into it. I turn around, and I see a perfect log of turd lying there, with my bike key sticking out of it like the goddamn sword in the stone. I had to pull it out of there. It's soaking in a bowl of bleach, and at this point I'm considering just chalking the whole bike up to a loss and walking everywhere. In conclusion, fuck my life. Too long didn't read. I dropped my bike key directly into a turd. Edit, notice me r/man tipping hand. For some reason that eludes me, they have a sort of shelf that things collect on. I was told many years ago that this is so you can inspect your stools more easily, for example, for signs of parasites. Or keys perhaps. I imagine that fishing your key out of the bottom of the bowl would have been even worse. I was hoping someone would explain this. For me it just serves to amplify my shame the morning after a night of heavy drinking, when I'm forced to confront the harsh reality of the hot sticky poo I've just taken. For some reason that eludes me, they have a sort of shelf that things collect on, and are then flushed into the water instead of dropping right into it, so you can inspect your sin. Huh, I thought you weren't supposed to sit on the throne until after you became king. I dropped my phone into the toilet once. In a dirty public restroom. In a gas station. My condolences. If it makes you feel better, I know this was gonna be a pee-pee stuck in the zipper story, so really, this is a bit better. You can clean a key but you can't undo a zipped willy.